We're joined now by Behnam Ben Taleblu, Senior Fellow at the Foundation for Defense of Democracy, is joining us from Washington, D.C. Behnam, let's start with the Iranian people. Are there growing signs that the Iranian people, they are fed up with the regime? Is there some pressure to change? What impact could this all have, or is it too small to look at right now?
Well, great to be with you. If one was looking for signs of the Iranian people's change and really breaking past the dam of the Islamic Republic, those signs were manifest and present long ago. The question is, what have the Iranian people been doing with it? As you've seen for a decade now, they've been boycotting the ballot box, striking, going on massive iterations of anti-regime protests from 2017 to present that continue to get demographically and geographically wider, bigger, and more diverse. The Iranian people's differences with this regime could not be more manifest than it already is. There are risks here for the Israelis naturally as the military operation continues, that if there are civilian casualties, that the regime may try to induce a rally. Thus far, the regime has absolutely failed to induce a rally around the flag effect, something that used to be conventional wisdom in Washington for 2 decades now. But just given the chasm that exists between state and society, whatever prism you took as an Iranian towards the government, that prism, whether it was pro-regime or anti-regime, is likely to be accelerated by the military operations of Israel against the Islamic Republic of Iran's nuclear missile and military bases since June 13th.
And where does the Iranian regime then stand? What position are they in right now? Because just moments ago, U.S. President Donald Trump on his Truth Social says that the United States knows where Supreme Leader Khamenei is hiding. They say they won't assassinate him, at least for now. What type of a threat does this mean for the Iranian regime? Are they taking this seriously?
Well, they absolutely need to be taking it seriously, because even without the entry of America into this conflict, the Israelis have been defanging many, not all, but many of the long-range strike capabilities of the Islamic Republic, have been targeting the future production centers for Iran's medium-range ballistic missiles, and have been going after nuclear scientists, have been going after military bases, and have been even really going after agents and elements of the oppressive apparatus of the Islamic Republic of Iran that oppresses the people of Iran. You saw the strike over the weekend against the police headquarters in Tehran. You saw the symbolic strike against the IRIB, which aired tortured confessions for so many years and really broadcast regime propaganda and tried to cement the regime's authoritarianism virtually and in cyberspace against the brave Iranian people. So listen, the regime knows it's weak. This is, in my view, this recent tweet that you read, this comment that you read by the president, this is him signaling to Khamenei, to the supreme leader, that the only thing that stands between Khamenei and certain death is Donald Trump. And that's why I think the president is in the best position ever to try to force the Islamic Republic to take a knee. Otherwise, I think the president is pointing to the military operations of the Israelis and saying it will continue.
So is this working then to get Iran to come back to the negotiating table with the United States? And how does the United States, Israel, the IAEA then ensure that Iran's nuclear capabilities are eliminated if this does go through diplomacy rather than military warfare?
Well, the question first and foremost would have to be, how do you get the IAEA back into the country to verify all of Iran's nuclear sites and make sure the regime comes back into compliance? That will be a lengthy political challenge. But while the conditions are being set for that table to be agreed to, I think the Israelis, as you see, are taking off as much as they can through military force from the table. And ironically, the more successful the Israelis are militarily, the less there may be a political urgency, a political sense of urgency for President Trump to try to have to cut a deal with the clerics when he can simply have Israel take much of this stuff off the table. Again, time will tell if what is left of the Iranian nuclear program ends up being squirreled away and diverted for weaponization, or can be targeted, or can be traded away.
Behnam Ben Taleblu, great to have you with us on I24 News, as always, discussing these latest developments.
Thank you.